and welcome to another episode of Just Another Effing Podcast. I am your host. I am one half of the greatest wrestling tag team in podcast history. It's the JFB James from Boston.
And you might know me as the patron saint of professional wrestling. You might know me as effing Batman. I'm Canada Dry, damn it.
It's Canada Dry. We are joined by the amazing and awesome Buff Bagwell. Buff, say hi to everybody in Twitter and YouTube land.
Hey, man, thank you guys so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. I really, I really do take a lot of responsibility and a lot of care. And when I do these things, I just don't do them to do them. I do them because I care, and I try to give my all. Anytime I do a podcast, and it took a while because see, I've got something going for me. I'm not sure it's good or bad. Yeah, but I got something going for me that nobody else has going for them in the wrestling world, and that is, and not that the Road Warriors wasn't badasses and had another life before wrestling, not that Scott Norton wasn't a badass and had another life, but I had a off the motherfucking chain lifestyle growing up.
Yeah.
First of all, my parents were filthy rich, and we were going to work. The three boys were going to work for the company when we graduated.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we're talking about, $1 million a month lumber company.
Wow.
And that's net. That ain't gross.
Yeah.
That's net. And so, that's a lot of money, bro, in the 70s and 80s with a female, my mother, that ran it.
Yeah.
Now, my dad was the brains behind it all, and he was the one that bought the lumber, and he knew how to buy it cheap and buy it right and buy the right amount and, not be not get that overdone and overtaken. But he was kind of the brains behind it all, but she was definitely the machine that ran it.
Yeah.
And, 200 men employees in the 70s and 80s.
Wow.
And how many women truck drivers do you think pulled up at Southeastern Building Supply? Not many, if any at all.
Yeah.
So they all would walk in and see this woman there, and they're like, who the hell is this, And about 10 seconds later, they're standing at attention.
Yeah.
Because my mother is a hard ass, bro. I mean, she is straight up. We are Bagwells, and we take full responsibility in being Bagwells. And we owned half of Marietta, me growing up, and just had a great lifestyle growing up, but also a crazy lifestyle. I mean, I shot my father when I was 16 years old.
Holy cow.
Yeah, he was beating my mom up and which it wasn't like a every week thing, but it was just that things that happened, and the rest the lumber company was going down, and no drugs, no alcohol was involved, nobody's drunk, nobody's drugged up, just a man going broke that was flipping.
Yeah.
And so long story short, it led to me shooting my father and his arm right here. And they had to put plates and screws in his arms and all that stuff. But and to this day, me and my father are best friends,
Yeah. Wow, that's good. I mean, at least he's not holding a grudge, Well,
that's one thing the Bagwells do. We may do something, that is deep and harsh, but we're big on about, apologizing and moving on,
Yeah.
Kind of clearing the air and then burying the hatchet.
Yeah. But
I drove your father in the leg or something.
Huh?
Where did you shoot him?
I said in his arm. In his arm, he's got plates and screws in his arm. He was opening up his car door, and he had jerked. What happened was him and my mom were fighting, and I went downstairs, and I started putting weight on and working out and stuff, and I may have been 17, but I just kind of grabbed him before I knew it and just kind of threw him off of her, you know?
Yeah.
And it shocked him how strong I was. And I was in between his bedroom and him where all the guns were. Our family was gun fanatics. We were deer hunters. So I slept with a 45 automatic, you know, with one in the chamber beside my bed, you know, and it wasn't like unheard of. This is the way we were. We all slept with guns. I sleep with a gun now right beside me. We were just gun guys. We were just gun people.
Yeah.
We love guns. And
some people got teddy bears. You guys got guns.
That's it. That's it. And so when the Southeastern started going down, of course, it started going down my senior year, which of course was the worst time because now what am I going to do? You know, here's my brothers, you know, they already, you know, basically they were just in my mom's way is all they were. They were just, my dad tried to, you know, show them and teach them but they just, like everybody else. I mean, it's hard to find anybody that wants to work. Nobody wants to work. Yeah. But they like close shop at like, you know, close the gates at 4:59, you know. And my dad one day, I never forget, my dad walked out and goes, "What the fuck are y'all doing?" He goes, "You got somewhere to fucking be?" Yeah. I mean, I pay for both your houses, both your cars you drive, I pay for. Without me and without this company, you ain't got nothing, but you close the gate at 4:50 fucking 9. Yeah. We got trucks to get ready for tomorrow. We got all kind of shit. So just unlock the fucking gates and we got about another hour of work to do. Yeah. But even being that hard and that strong, and Leslie was that hard and that strong all of the time. I remember being a kid watching it. And saying to myself, God, why don't they listen to him? I mean, here's a self-made millionaire, you know, that made a millionaire business out of literally answering the phone and going, Southeastern Building Supply, taking an order, hanging it up. Yeah. Him, my mom, and a guy named James Parker, that was my dad's best friend, would load the truck, lock the store, deliver the lumber, come back, open the store, and answer the next phone call. Yeah. And built that into a $1 million empire. Wow. And so, you know, then all of a sudden, you know, the baby that was left out of that run ends up gets into pro wrestling and ends up supporting the whole family. Yeah, you know, so it was definitely a crazy thing, and that's what makes my podcast and my life a little bit different. Is just I had such a crazy childhood, and then got into wrestling where it's just a crazy wrestling world, you know.
So that's a crazy combination, right?
Yeah. So it just led up to a double whammy there, which not many guys have. You know, most guys. I mean, I'm gonna say in the high 90s. Yeah. That if you ask them to tell you, you know, some crazy stories, they're all gonna be from wrestling. They're not gonna be from their childhood or they're going to school or that kind of stuff. It's gonna be wrestling. Yeah. Well, I got just as many crazy stories in my childhood growing up as I do as wrestling. Yeah. You know, well,
so tell us a couple.
God almighty, man. I mean, the shoot my dad story is, you know, is kind of the topper, but you know, I mean, just you know, like, you know, being on the airplane with Steve Regal and Scott Norton and getting kicked off the airplane because Regal was real fucked up, and they woke me up, you know, to help him, and he was like laying in the floor. Wow. And I get him up and I put him in a chair, you know, get him set up and clean him up a little bit and put a seatbelt back on him, and go back to sleep. We were flying from Japan to Minneapolis to do the trip to Sturgis for Road Wild.
Yeah.
Or back then it may have been a Hog Wild still. So we get there, and I mean we're still en route, and she wakes me up again, and she says, "Look, he's walking around, the cabin and stuff." So I get him up and sit him back in his seat again, and well, the next thing I know is, the tire, we're landing, and I can just, even though I've taken something to go to sleep, like a Xanax or something to go to sleep, an Ambien or something to go to sleep, because it's a 17-hour flight. I was like, there's no way we're in Minneapolis yet, Yeah. But I had no idea where we were. So I opened the window, and I can see there's a blizzard going on. And I can see, though, that there's an Anchorage, Alaska police car out there. And before I can even think, the Anchorage, Alaska police is on the plane telling us to get our shit and get off. And I go, "Sir," and that's all I got out. He goes, "Get your shit and get off of this plane." So keep in mind, I'm trying to wake up, and it's all of a sudden we open the doors, and they literally stopped the jet, pushed up the stairs to the state, not even to the jetway, pulled up the stairs to the jet, and we walked down those steps, wind's hitting us, and I'm starting to wake up. Yeah. Well, I look back and look at Regal, and Regal's got food all over his chest. I mean, he looks like hell, and I'm like, what the? And don't get me wrong, it ain't like I've never done that before. I have. Yeah. But I hadn't at this stage of my life. And what had happened once we got outside and realized, I finally went to the police officer. I said, "Sir," I said, "there's a mistake." I said, "We were asleep." I said, something's happened way beyond that's going on here. We're not to blame here. We're not to blame. There's something else going on. Yeah. Sure enough, he was in the bathroom. You know how those doors kind of fold. The bathroom doors they fold kind of. Yeah. Well, the door wasn't closed all the way, and it wasn't folded back where he could lock it. And the stewardess was trying to help him, and he turns and pisses on the stewardess.
Oh, no.
That'll do it.
Yeah. So after all the other stuff, that was just instantly emergency landing, Yeah. And the bad part is they didn't let us get our shit off. They just took off. Yeah. And I'm like, you gotta be shitting me, So we're, of course, Bischoff called me. Yeah. And goes, "Bagwell, I know it was fucking you. I know it's your fucking fault. There's no doubt in my mind. So just what the fuck? I'm gonna fire you if you don't tell me the truth." I said, "Eric, I swear to God, this is not my fault." And I told him the whole story, and he believed me. Yeah. And I think Regal had to leave the country for a little while on that one. I think.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I'm pretty sure he had to leave the country for a little while on that. And but Steve Regal is a great guy. I love him. He's a great worker. Yeah. Love him to death. It's just one of those things. It just happened. He just happened to get a little bit too messed up before we got on the plane. And then when he ate, it kicks it in, and he got a little sloppy, and that's all that really happened. It wasn't that big a deal, but it ended up being a huge ordeal, Yeah. So how did I still made it to Sturgis, and of course, I still made it to Minneapolis. Yeah. And of course, with all my luck that I had, of course, zero sleep. You're completely turned around on the clock. You're completely turned around. And the fucking fire alarm goes off.
Oh no.
for at least 3 to 4 hours. And I mean, I just thought to myself, what else? So at that stage, I already decided I'm not doing the Surges thing.
Yeah.
Not to mention, this is before 9/11. Yeah. Not to mention, all of my clothes I don't have. My mother is a magical, powerful woman. She really is. She's really good at everything she does. And she somehow, even before 9/11, this is a trick, buddy. She somehow got my clothes through customs.
Wow.
Over the phone and to my hotel room.
Wow.
Damn.
And my boots, my helmet, all my stuff to go to Sturgis was in there, you know. And so I kind of was hoping my bags didn't show up. Well, my bags, of course, showed up, and I was like, oh my God. Well, here comes fucking Kurt Hennig and Sting and Luger and everybody, and throwing these, Vicodins and coffee and, come on, kick out, let's go. Come on, man, let's do it. Wake up. Won't you? Because, I was back then, I was alive for the party, Yeah. And it was okay what Buff said, because it wasn't Buff yet. It was Marcus Alexander Bagwell. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, when it was, did you hear what Buff said? Then it all got messed up. But when Marcus said it, it was funny and everybody loved it,
So speaking of your mother, whose idea was it for her to be the tag team champion?
Rick Steiner.
That's such a bad idea. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Rick Steiner came up with it. That whole idea got brought up from I broke my neck in Columbia, South Carolina, and we were going to be back in Columbia. Yeah. And I could have been maybe the biggest baby face on the face of the planet if Eric would have done it, but instead Eric made me a heel. Yeah. For some reason, I don't know why, but he did.
Oh, I agree. You would have made an amazing baby face.
Oh my God, dude! I had letters. That would make anybody cry. Yeah. And I'm talking about 10,000, 15,000 letters. And every one of them, I mean, like Desert Storm guys would touch my picture before going into battle. Wow. And shit like that. I mean, just deep stuff. And then here I turn heel and just slap all those people right across the face.
Well, yeah, because you had the surgery, right? And so that would have been perfect time to turn your face.
You think?
Yeah.
I mean, right? I mean, my parents were, like everybody that knew me was like, oh my God, I cannot believe they're turning you heel. My God, all they got to do is turn you babyface. You'll be the biggest babyface in the world. You broke your fucking neck on live television and was paralyzed for 11 minutes. I mean, God, this is shit you can't write up. You can't dream it up. Yeah. I mean, there's guys trying to get that kind of heat and trying to get that kind of sympathy, whether it be babyface or heel. And here they turn me heel and just go the other way on it. And I'll never forget the night of the crowd, like when I turned heel against Rick. Yeah. Rick came out to apologize to me, and Scotty came out, hit him in the back. And I called Scotty down, like, no, don't, please, don't do that. Don't do that. And then I grabbed the chair and I hit Rick, and took my shirt off, had the NWO shirt on and all that. But it could have gone the other way so easy and been such a great run as a baby face. But, that's
you
gone.
Also,
neither here nor there.
You also had your mom on a pole match with the forklift. Whose idea was that?
I'm not sure where the word pole came in when it was a forklift. I mean,
it was just
forklift sounds so much better anyway. I don't know why. Not quite sure why the pole got involved. I don't know what that means, but never understood. And once again, that was when WCW was doing shit. If we don't understand it and we're in the company, you think the fans understand it?
Not a damn chance.
But I'm sure your mom's just happy to be involved, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
Your mom's just happy to be involved.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Then I talked her into finally getting a contract because she had worked her out. Here's a 60-year-old woman taking diamond cutters.
Yeah.
And bruised from all her knees are bruised up and elbows and everything else. But she was tough, but still she was taking diamond cutters. So I finally sat I took a knee in front of Eric Bischoff on an airplane ride home from like a long ways away, like Seattle. It was a good West Coast to East Coast flight. And I had her talked into getting about a $300,000 deal. And when we landed, she had been sick that road trip. And when we landed, she her appendix had burst.
Oh man!
So she had to get rushed to the hospital. And in live TV, that don't count. You're just wrote out and stuff. It's over. It's done. So.
We would have got more duty had that not happened.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we wrote it off as me and Scotty beat her up, I think.
Yeah.
Is that we wrote that off. It's just we act like we beat her up and went on with the show, So we had to because it's live TV. If somebody gets hurt or something, it's there's somebody waiting right behind you to take your spot.
Yeah. So I guess my big question is. Who or what got you into wrestling? Like, is there a specific person that when you were growing up, that really got you into professional wrestling?
I wasn't really, I didn't really watch wrestling or anything. My brothers did. I remember watching, coming home from deer hunting on Sunday nights and seeing the Road Warriors on TV, and thinking that was cool. But I remember my brothers dressing up like Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah.
And that was cool, But it was really not my cup of tea, and I didn't really think much about it. And so when my dad went broke, he came up with he said, look, he came to the three boys, and he goes, look, I got enough money to get you guys all going into something that you want to get into. Yeah. And so what do you want to do? Well, my oldest brother wanted to open up a gym, and he did. My second brother wanted to open up a drywall company, and he did. Well, you're 18 years old. Well, what the fuck do you want to do?
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck I want to do. You kidding me? I mean, he's asking you for a lifelong decision at 18. I mean, I got no fucking idea.
Were you the youngest?
Yeah, I was a baby.
Yeah.
So I came up with, believe it or not, massage therapy.
Yeah.
And was going to do from there, I could go to sports therapy, sports medicine. And I was very, very athletic. I was all county, all state in football and baseball and just very athletic in everything I did. I was a Golden Gloves, Georgia Golden Glove state championship boxer when I was 12.
Yeah.
So, I was 61-1 in my boxing career.
Wow.
And so I mean, everything I did, I was very athletic with it. My very first football game, I rushed for 400 yards. And and I remember coming home and telling my dad I didn't like it.
Yeah.
He said, well, buddy, if after rushing 400 yards you don't like it, you ain't never gonna like it.
Yeah.
But I ended up liking it and stuck with it, and then injuries and stuff led me back to going just to full baseball, and we had a great baseball team and all that. But I was all county, all state, and all sports, and just very good at everything I did, and just happy to give it a go. I was at the pool one day, and in the middle of trying to, I already gone to, I already graduated massage therapy school.
Yeah.
And they had got me ready to do that, and so I was all ready to do that, and the guys, all the guys were like these real ugly guys, just nerds and sandals and peace, freedom, shirts, peace, love, happiness.
Yeah.
And I come from a fucking world of die or kill or not be killed, or if a girl got in my face, she got knocked out.
Yeah.
I was raised like that. I was raised that if a girl got in my face, I was to knock her out.
Wow.
And if one of our wives, for example, if any of our wives were to come to my mother and go, John was my middle brother, Steve was my oldest brother, and my name's Mark. And she said, if let's say John's wife would have came to my mom and said, John hit me. I can't believe he hit me. He hit me. My mom was the kind of mom that would go, well, what'd you do wrong?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Yeah.
So that's just the way my mom was. She was just old school, and she was just, that knew that there wasn't, her boys just weren't going to often slap their wife or hit their wife. There was a reason that caused it,
Yeah.
And so long story short, I came from a family like that, and that just didn't take no shit off nobody. It didn't matter, girl, guy, it didn't matter, and she just didn't take no shit. And but I'm at the pool one day, and this is in the middle of me. I've been doing massage therapy for 2 or 3 months, and it just wasn't going nowhere quickly. I could see quickly it was going to be problems. I'd have women walk in to my massage room, see me, and turn around and walk out. And I was like, wait, what's going on? What's going on? And so when you spend $10,000 on becoming a massage therapist, and you're getting told no, you finally want to know why.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I started stopping the women and going, look, tell me what it is. And I heard my husband would kill me.
Oh, I see.
My husband would kill me. I may have a zit on my back.
Yeah.
I may have some fat on my back. So really, back to the guys that were sandal wearing, peace, love, freedom.
Yeah.
I saw the point, but nobody told me.
Yeah.
If somebody would have said, look, man, with the way you look, no woman is going to be comfortable taking their clothes off in front of you.
Yeah.
You're going to be, it's going to be a problem for you.
Yeah.
I thought it was awful weird that I didn't see no good looking guys being massage therapists.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I thought with all my heart, I graduated #1 in my class.
Yeah.
And that goes by, they teach you from the moment a person comes through your door, you're inviting them in, how you get them in the sheets comfortably, how you step out while they get in the sheets, the music, the everything else, the getting them ready, making them feel comfortable is a big part of massage therapy.
Yeah.
And that was what I was excellent at, was people skills.
Yeah.
And so I graduated #1 in my class, but it didn't make the people no more comfortable to take their clothes off and for me to massage them. So I was in the middle of that debacle. What am I going to do? And in the middle of, what am I going to do now? And so I'm at the pool laying out. My wife is at the Cheetah stripping, and which was her idea. She came up with it. I didn't come up with the idea. It was hers. She was at the Cheetah stripping to make her pay her bills.
Yeah.
which is what got me in wrestling. It was, look, give me a year. If I don't make it within a year, we'll get you out of stripping and get me I'll get a regular job and we'll move on from there. But I made it within a year. Yeah. And but she kept dancing because she make $1,000 a night.
Wow.
So here we had Corvettes and Jeeps and everybody thought it was some wrestling. I was getting $25 and $50 a match to wrestle. And then, everybody thought since I was a wrestler and on TV, I was making all this money since we had Corvettes and Jeeps and brand new everything and a nice house and nice furniture. But it was because of her making all the money.
So you only wrestled the independents for like a year or something before WCW called you.
Yeah, it's about a year. That's all I did. Yeah,
that's crazy. Like that was like instant success almost.
Yeah, it was. It really was, and that was the deal. That was the deal I made with her too, and so I made it within the year. So there's a little bit of luck involved, but at the same time, I was good at it. I was good. I was young. I had a great body, a great physique. I was in shape. I could do everything. I could do it all. I could do the moves. I was a decent wrestler out of the gate. And so I could do it all, And so, they said, look, we'll sign you to a contract just to go to school. 2 days into school, they put me, Barry Windham tears his knee up and they put me on the road. Yeah. And the rest is history. But so anyway, so I'm at the pool, and this is before I got into wrestling, and this is how I got into wrestling. And I'm at the pool going, what am I going to do? My God, this massage thing ain't working out. It's not going to work out. I was making money, but I wasn't making a living. Yeah. And I'm like, what the hell am I going to do? God darn, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden, I look across the pool. It was about 150 yards. It was a big. We lived in a really nice apartment complex. Yeah. Well, I looked across the pool and I see this good-looking, blonde hair, big titty, beautiful-looking girl. Yeah. Just talking to one of our agents, and the agent didn't know I was married. Yeah. And Missy didn't know I was married. And it was Missy Hyatt who it was. Yeah. So when I come back from the pool, ironically, I don't know it's Missy. I just know it's blonde hair, big boobs. Yeah. Is moving in directly. I remember, I don't know how I remember this, but I got a great memory, and every wrestler will tell you that. Our apartment was 1504 and hers was 1505. Yeah. I have no fucking idea how I remember that. Yeah. But you can bet your ass I'm right. Yeah. And so I didn't really think anything about it. I'm 18 or 19. And I go, damn, I go, that's kind of ironic, her moving in right next door to us, because it was a brand new apartment complex and several open rooms everywhere, and it was brand new. And I just thought it was just kind of a weird deal that she was moving next door to me. Well, that night, knock at the door, and we go to the door to get it, and Tanya's there, my wife, and at that stage, my fiance, and Missy's at the door, and she's laughing, hysterically, and she goes, "Do you mind if I come in?" We're like, "No, man, sure, go on in, So she comes in and she goes, "Look," she goes, "today I made a big mistake." She said, I thought your husband was single, so I asked them to move me in wherever that guy right there lives. Yeah. Move me in close to where that guy lives. And so we laughed about it, and she asked, "Do we watch wrestling?" And of course we said no, because we didn't. Yeah. And she was like, "Yeah, I'm Missy Hyatt. I'm a female announcer." And I said those guys don't make no fucking money. Yeah. And she goes, "Our lowest guy makes about $100,000 a year." Wow. And I went, "You want to run that by me one more time?"
You're seeing that cha-ching in your head.
Yeah. So automatically my wife and me are going cha-ching, cha-ching, because there's nothing Mark Bagwell's never headed out to do that I didn't do. Nothing, ever. And I'm not trying to be cool. And people can hear this and say I'm cocky and hate my guts, which is about 90% of the population anyway. So I don't give two flying fucks. I tell it like it is. People can take it how it is, or they can hate my fucking guts. It don't matter to me. I just tell it like it is.
Yeah.
But I am able to do anything, just kind of like what your grandpa told you or what your mom told you. Anything you set your mind to, you can do. Well, anything I set my mind to, I really could fucking do. Yeah. And so I go to school. She sets it up when you go to school. I go to school, and I mean, I've never been through anything like that in my entire life.
Yeah.
I got my brains beat completely out by a guy named Steve the Brawler Lawler.
Yeah.
That recently died of COVID. And Daryl something was his real name. But he trained me, and I literally had I came home, and my wife is just ecstatic. She can't wait. She's like, oh God, how'd it go? And I said, I'm not going back.
Yeah.
And she went, what? I said, I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I said, baby, I've done the math. I said, to do what I did tonight and do that 3 to 5 times a week.
Yeah.
On the average, I said that it's not possible. It's feasibly not possible. I said, if it is, God bless those guys, and they're a lot tougher than I thought they were, and I don't have that in me. There's no way I can do it. There's no way.
Yeah.
So some reason the second day came, and I went again, and I went the third and the fourth, and I think I did my training was about kind of like my independent run was about eight matches.
Yeah.
8 training sessions, and they made me the world television champion.
Yeah.
So, of course, tons of heat. But see, here's something else that the guys didn't realize about the heat thing.
Yeah.
Heat is just another word for jealousy.
Yeah.
And what they didn't realize is I've been dealing with jealousy my entire life.
Yeah.
So that was nothing new to me. When you pull up to Sprayberry High School and a brand new 1985 red Corvette at 15 years old, that's heat.
Oh yeah, that's nuclear.
That's heat. And you're the starting quarterback, and you're good looking, and you're cool, and you got all the cool friends, and everybody thinks you're the coolest, and you're kind of you're Mr. SHS and all that, and your parents are rich, but you're hated even more.
Yeah,
you're even hated even more on top of that, because your parents are rich. I remember I made Dugout Player of the Week, which is a big deal back in Cobb County baseball. They still have it. They do a dugout tournament. It's called at the beginning of each season.
Okay.
And I batted .650 for the week.
Wow.
4 home runs, 6 stolen bases, 12 RBIs, something like that. It's something crazy. It was just a great week I had, and I was Cobb County Player of the Week.
Yeah.
And because my parents give the coach the lumber for the benches, is why I started.
Wow.
It wasn't that I batted .650 for the week with 12 RBIs, and we went to the semis and lost in the semis and in the state championship. That had nothing to do with it. It was my parents give the coach lumber for the benches.
Yeah.
So that money thing is evil, man. It's an evil deal,
So we're at the 40-minute mark here. I want to redirect you a bit. So what happened with WWE that you came in and you had your match with Booker T and then you were pretty much released? What happened there?
I wish I could tell you. I think I'd give a contract for that answer straight up. I don't know. I really don't know. They blamed it on a bad match. And let's just go this route. Let's say it was absolutely a horrible, most horrible match you've ever seen in your entire life.
Yeah.
But you're Buff Bagwell.
Yeah.
Don't you think you get a look, bro? You know, this ain't how we do it. You know, this is how we do it. You get a little warning. You know, you don't get fired after 12 years of being in the business and being a 6-time world tag team champion with 5 different partners. Yeah. I mean, you just don't get fired over having one bad match. Not to mention, I didn't think it was that bad, but there was something going on way before that. In other words, we had our first match, and the name of the name was called The Invasion.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the Invasion angle. Yeah.
All we had to do was wait 1 week.
Yeah.
And we could have did the Invasion in Atlanta, Georgia. And Ted Turner's backyard.
Yeah.
So right there, whoever, if you don't even know about wrestling, you know that you smell shit right there.
Yeah.
There's no reason to do this match with Booker T and Buff Bagwell in Tacoma, Washington.
Yeah.
And when you got in 1 week, you're going to be in Ted Turner's backyard. It's called The Invasion.
And not only that, you and Booker T are supposed to be on the same side.
Yeah, we invading Tacoma? Fuck, we're invading Ted Turner, which is Atlanta.
Yeah.
So me and Booker are backstage, and we know something's up bad.
Yeah.
But we can't say nothing. You can't say nothing.
So did you know that Kurt Angle and Steve Austin were going to be involved in this?
That's the only thing that we were told, and that's kind of where they left it. In other words, Stone Cold came to us and said, "Hey, here's what we're going to do. Bagwell, you're going to be the heel, and during Booker's comeback, we're going to hit the ring during the comeback, and then Bagwell, you help us out, and then we're going to throw Booker out the back door, and then we're going to you act like you're part of our team, and all right, and then we're going to hit you and throw you out the back door." And that's what we were told. So when Stone Cold tells you that, Stone Cold said so. So so we did it. But when we got to the back, me and Booker started like kind of turning on each other a little bit, like, "Well, Bagwell, you were a little bit off tonight." And you can look at me and Booker had over 100 matches together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we never missed a spot, not one spot, not a step. Our chemistry was phenomenal. We had the best matches ever through 5 different partners. Yeah. We had the best matches ever. We always got along great. We always were good friends. We always were just real tight. And then that match comes up, and all of a sudden we're talking, and he starts kind of blaming me for the match. And I go, "Whoa, wait a minute now." Well, Johnny Ace was in charge of the 12 WCW guys.
Yeah.
And Pat Patterson was in charge of all the main events.
Yeah.
And so we never talked to Pat.
Yeah.
And we never talked to Johnny Ace.
Huh.
We just were told by Stone Cold what we were doing.
Right.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but if Stone Cold told you what to do, pretty much, I think you're going to do that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt.
So we just assumed that that's who told us to do it, and so we did it. And then they actually put the blame on themselves. They said, "Listen, this is a lot our fault." I thought Johnny Laurinaitis, I thought Johnny Ace had Pat said, "I thought he had you guys, the match kind of figured out, and was going to talk to you guys. And Johnny thought I was going to do it since I do the main events. And like, even with me, my music is playing, and I got the curtain, and I'm right here to open the curtain, and Shane McMahon steps in front of me and goes, Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, you cannot look in the camera. And I said, Shane, have you ever watched one of my matches? I said, that's all I fucking do.
Yeah.
I said, I look in the fucking camera, I pose, I laugh, I cut up, and then I give a pretty decent match.
Yeah.
I go, that's all I fucking do. He says, can't do it. Can't look in the camera. So I was thrown off my tilt from jump.
Yeah.
And if you think for a second he forgot to tell me about the music until right here, you're a fucking idiot. And you just are. And you know as good as I do, he waited for here to tell me that to fuck my world up.
Yeah,
and you
absolutely.
know he did. You know, so it just is kind of sad. So I come out literally like, here's the camera, and I'm going like, you better try my best not to look in the camera, because that's all I did. So I was trying my best to stay away from that camera so I didn't get in trouble, And I wrestled that match with 25 staples in my head from getting hit by fucking Helms with the frozen water bottle,
Yeah.
And then the story comes out about my mom calls to get me out of those shows.
Yeah.
You're trying to make the WWF, and you're going to get your mother to call in.
So that's completely bullshit, what you're saying.
Come on, man. I mean, I just wrestled Booker T with 25 staples.
Yeah.
Why would I call in sick to some house shows? It just don't make sense. And then why would I have my mother do it?
Right.
So it got to be so bad with the mother. I finally started answering it. I started answering it like this. I started answering it like, you know what? Let's go this route.
Yeah.
Let's say my mother's lying to me, and my mother did it.
Yeah.
My mother called up to get me out of those shows, didn't tell me about it, and was just calling up to be a mother and didn't tell me. And let's just go that route.
Yeah.
Even though that's not true, but let's just go that route.
Right.
I go, again, so what?
Yeah.
Hey, Bagwell, tell your fucking mother
exactly
not to ring our fucking phone.
Yeah.
I didn't get no warning. I just got fired.
Yeah.
So there was no warning. There was no slap on the hand. There was no don't do this and don't do that.
Right.
It was just one wrestling match and I was gone. So I don't know, to answer your question. I don't know, bro. I don't know. It blew my mind just as much as yours. I promise you.
Yeah.
How they could just get it. But let me tell you what it did. What I think it did.
Yeah.
I was the sacrificial lamb of WWF.
Yeah.
After they fired me, it spread like wildfire through the locker room that they just fired Buff Bagwell
right
in Atlanta. So, hey, guys, you may want to start getting the fuck along here, because they're not playing. Yeah. And so, I mean, from guys that told me about it, that locker room instantly started getting along and working together. So I really just think I was the sacrificial lamb of what needed to be done to get their attention of the guys that wasn't getting along.
Yeah. Make an example of you.
Yeah, made an example of, and just talking about getting made an example of, and and there being some, just some something not quite right. Just recently, I asked to go to to rehab, just because I had a car wreck and just like I told you guys earlier, it wasn't that I'm horribly off or I'm swallowing a bunch of pills every day and I'm drunk and you haven't seen me take a sip of even a water here.
Yeah.
And you'd see me have a beer right in my hand on one of these things. I'm just not that. I'm not like that.
Yeah.
And so, but the guys all thought when they read the story, they got them mixed up. The problem was the first car accident was 10 months old.
Yeah.
Then I had another little accident that the guy thinks I hit him, and I don't think I did.
Yeah.
And told him that there was nothing was wrong with his car.
Yeah.
And why would I pull over knowing there's a warrant for my arrest?
Yeah.
So, why would I pull over, with all that and if hit and run, brother, when Bagwell hits and runs, you ain't going to catch me.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Yeah. So what you're saying is WWE denied you the wellness program.
Yes, and to my knowledge, I'm not 100% on this, but to my knowledge so far, 100%, I'm the only guy that has been told no.
Wow.
I know Sonny has been told no after her fifth time, but
yeah. And then I heard this. They came back with Dallas with, because I tried to sue them.
Yeah.
I tried to sue them for not paying me for being on them, showing me all over the fucking network of WWE Network and not paying me no money.
Yeah.
So, of course I try to sue them to get my money. I deserve them. If you're going to show me, either take me off your fucking show or fucking pay me.
Yeah.
Real simple. I don't care if I'm on your show or not. I don't care if you ever show me again.
Yeah.
I've already built my name. You ain't gotta show me in Too Cold Scorpio, but by God, they did.
Yeah.
They showed me in Too Cold Scorpio and me in Stars and Stripes and American Males. Well, they showed the hell out of us.
Oh, yeah.
I did not get paid a dime for none of it.
Man, that
so there's just something on there. And Jim Ross says, well, I was just doing my job. I was just doing my job of what I was told to do.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lie, because I got a disc I can show you and pull it up and show you. You can go look at it for yourself. It's that 3-disc CDs. There's 3 DVDs in this pack.
Yeah.
And on the front is me, Junkyard Dog, Jerry Lawler, and some other stars are on the front. And me and Lex, though, in the 3rd DVD, it's called Heat Seekers.
Yeah.
And me and Lex are, of course, on the cover of Heat Seekers.
Yeah.
And in that roundtable meeting, Jim Ross lights me fucking up. Yeah. He blitzed me, dude. Just, wow. And I said, this is just facts. I love Jim Ross. I think Jim Ross is a great guy.
Yeah.
But because of him saying that cost me millions of dollars, bro.
Yeah.
I was fired at 30.
Yeah. 30
years old. Right at the prime of my career.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was fired. And so, and off of a lie. If Jim Ross had no buts, nothing against me.
Yeah.
And fired me, I wouldn't have no heat against Jim, because Jim was just doing his job.
Yeah.
But if Jim's going to go out and say, I was just doing my job, and I like Buff, but then turns around and goes, oh, Buff had his mother call me and, wanted me to have him replaced, which, by the way, wasn't hard to have him replaced at all.
Yeah.
He just drilled me on this DVD.
Yeah.
So which one is it, Jim? Did you like me and you just are doing your job, or is it personal, bro?
Yeah.
And I'm going the route, it was personal, because I know my mom didn't call and tell me to get out of those shows. And Jim Ross is the one that called and told me to stay home.
Yeah.
And I know my mom didn't do that. And then he said, He was just doing his job. And if he was just doing his job, why did he dog me out so bad? Why did he dog me out if he was just doing his job?
So let me ask you this, Buff. What do you think of the state of wrestling today and the stars and everything of wrestling today? What do you think?
I think it's a joke.
Yeah.
I think it's an absolute joke. I mean, there's a lot of stars on the WWE, and there's a lot of stars on AEW.
Yeah.
But a lot of the guys that are stars are guys that would have never even been on the B team during Nitro days.
Yeah.
During the Monday Night Wars, there's guys that would not even have been on the B team, not even dark matches.
Really?
It's just changed so much. Everybody now, all the fat guys wear shirts to cover their bodies up.
Yeah.
And they can work pretty good. So they cover their fat up so they can work and look like, they're not fat asses.
Yeah.
And me and Scotty came out and looked like athletes.
Yeah.
We look like professional wrestlers, are supposed to look. We didn't come out and cover ourselves up and wear T-shirts and try to hide how we looked because we were fat and didn't look good and try to cover it up. And that's what these guys are doing. And they're good workers.
Yeah.
But the idea behind this whole thing is to have it all. Yeah. Like The Rock. The Rock has it all, had it all. I mean, he has it all and had it all. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for somebody who's got the body, the look, the swag, the charisma, the cockiness, the mic ability, the ring ability. Yeah. You're looking at for somebody having it all, not some guys that, here's the best thing I've ever came up with ever. Okay. Pick out any name pick out anybody you want to pick out of AEW, Canada Dry. You pick out anybody you want to pick out of AEW right now. Just pick a name out.
MJF.
Do you think he can walk through Walmart and somebody go, hey, there's MJF?
I think so.
You do?
I do. He's got a lot of heat on him.
Who do you think would get recognized more, Buff Bagwell or MJF?
Buff.
Because you're on the show with us today, I'm going to say you. My answer might be different next week. I'm going to be honest.
I just don't understand. It just don't make sense to me. I mean, if Hulk Hogan walks through, he's going to get noticed more than me.
Yeah.
But that's how I judge the business.
Yeah.
If you can walk through Walmart now, and I don't mean this. I don't mean walk through Walmart and get man, that guy's got a good body. He's a big guy. He must be a ball player or something, I don't mean that. I'm
talking in your heyday. We're talking about in your heyday, I think.
Walking through Walmart and them going, oh my God, there's Buff Bagwell.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's Scott Steiner. Oh my God, there's Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
There's a difference in that, bro. And that used to mean something.
I get what you mean.
Guys that are on the show wouldn't get recognized like that. They just wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean that's an old adage. I mean, I've heard Vince McMahon has said that if you weren't able to be recognized in an airport, then he didn't want you on his programs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Stevie Richards and Stevie, I'm sorry, I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
Stevie Richards, I saw at the airport one time. This has been probably 10 or 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, he had a WWF everything on.
Yeah.
He had a WWF hat on. He had a WWF like sweatsuit on. He had a WWF like belt he had over his shoulder, a WWF duffel bag. I mean, I get off my airplane and I've got no WWF nothing, no WCW nothing, and everybody, all these kids come running up to me to get my autograph.
Yeah.
And then Stevie Richards sees me, he comes over, and the kids actually go, Are you? Keep in mind, WWF has thrown up on him.
Yeah.
And he goes, they go, oh, are you a wrestler too? And he goes, yeah. And of course, you know me, I'm going, oh God.
Yeah.
I go, oh my God, this is Stevie Richards, man. He's one of the best guys out there. He's one of the, because I like Stevie. Yeah. So I'm trying to help him. And then later on that night, I watch him on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, oh my God, I just left an airport that nobody knew who he was.
Yeah.
And now I'm watching him on TV on Monday Night Raw, and I'm at home without a job.
Yeah.
So that's
mind you, Stevie Richards was losing to women at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I think the women are better than the men now.
Oh, I totally agree.
I think the women's matches are the angles are better.
Yeah.
I think that I really believe the angles are better. I believe that their matches are a little bit better. I mean, they've came a long ways, man. I mean, God, they used to not be able to do nothing.
Yeah.
And now they really can go. They can go, man.
Oh, they tear the house down. I mean,
I'm super impressed with them.
And they don't get as much TV time as I think they should.
No, they don't. No,
you got to realize an hour here.
We didn't even have girls in our matches, in our show,
Yeah.
So, Buff Bagwell, we're pretty much in an hour here. Is there anything else, anything you want to tell before, like we're going to close it out pretty soon here? Is there anything else you want to say?
No, I just would give anything to, for it not to have come down the way it did. I think out there in the wrestling world, from what I've read and what I've been emailed over and over time and time again, and just people that you've talked to, everybody knows that Mark Bagwell got the raw end of the deal.
Oh, I felt that way when it happened. I was like, what the hell?
It's just a known fact. It's just a known fact. It's not a cry on somebody's shoulder. It's not a, oh my God, I can't believe I'm not in the WWF, and I'd give anything to be there. But my point is, it really, 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 I got fucked.
Yeah, you did.
And I did. And the problem is, I got fucked with a lie.
Yeah.
I got fucked with a lie. And that hurts. That hurts, man. If it was something where I slit somebody's throat and, cut somebody out and kept showing up. Let's say if I showed up drunk and I got warned, and I showed up drunk again and I got warned. That third time, if I got fired, it wasn't one of those things. There was never a warning, and then I got fired.
Yeah.
And then I asked for help, and to my knowledge, please feedback and let me know if I'm wrong. I'm the only guy in the history. Guys have sued Vince before and still been in the program of rehab.
Yeah.
And here I am. I'm not allowed in.
Yeah.
So it's just there's some kind of discrepancy of some sort that's going on, and it always has with me with them. And I don't know what I did. Like I said, you don't get fired over having one bad match. You just don't. And by the way, I didn't think it was that bad.
I watched it. I didn't think it was that bad either.
There wasn't one spot. We did not miss one spot.
Yeah.
We didn't look stupid nowhere.
Yeah.
It may not have been a barn burner, but it wasn't embarrassing, and it wasn't stupid, and it didn't look bad.
Yeah.
It just was an average match. And and still I didn't get any kind of, repercussion from that. It was just, oh, you got fired because of a bad match. Oh, you got fired because, your mother called in. And so there was never a warning, don't do it again or you're going to get fired. And that's all I wish I could have had, at least a warning. Because if I had a warning, I would have never done it again.
Yeah. Well, man, I greatly appreciate you. You've always been, I've been a big fan of yours since you and Scotty Riggs with American Males. I mean, you had that stuff. I mean, I was an avid WCW fan, because of you. And when you joined NWO and you were with Scott Norton, that made it even better for me. So I'm excited that we got to have that opportunity to sit and just chew the fat with you.
One of the best names for a tag team ever, Vicious and Delicious. It was so great. That was a great name.
Vicious and Delicious. That was
a great name.
If you want to stick around, we're going to do.
A little kid gave us that name in Chicago.
Oh, that's so cool.
And he said it, and I went, "What did you say?" And I turned around and wrote it down, and I went straight home and airbrushed everything delicious.
Yeah.
And Scott went home and airbrushed everything vicious.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It was born vicious and delicious.
This little kid gave you that name. That's awesome.
All right. Well, if you want to stick around, we're going to do we do a monthly giveaway for our podcast for our listeners and stuff. This month we're doing a collectible of The Undertaker, and we're going to go ahead and do as soon as I get my iPad up and running. All right. So I'm going to hit it 3 times and we'll find out who is going to be our winner. Is spinning, and Dylan. Dylan King. Yeah, big friend of the show. Dylan, I will email you sometime today, and we'll get your mailing address so we can ship out your collectible. And Canada Dry, on that note, has Hulk Hogan gone back in touch with you yet?
Well, maybe because Buff Bagwell knows him. Maybe he'll want to come on the show. And, so we would like to apologize for all the mean stuff we said to you, Hulk Hogan. We're sorry. You're a lousy piece of crap. We never, ever want to have you on our show. So that's Effin' Wrestling 28.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan 0. Canada Dry out.